Hey there guys, welcome back to Texas Beer Reviews, and on this episode we will be looking at Martin House's Turtle Power. This is their blackberry Altbier. It's got a little turtle eating blackberry. And this is one of their newer releases. It was canned on October 10th of this year and has Cowabunga Bro written on the bottom in print. So, I guess you can actually, if my camera would focus, you can see it. Anyway, so, yeah, this is obviously a Ninja Turtle themed beer. Of course, Martin House is out of somewhere in North Texas that I forgot. Like usual. I actually don't even know. Anyway, it's like Dallas, Fort Worth, somewhere around there. This comes in at 7.5% ABV. So, I'm actually not super familiar with alt beers. I haven't had too many alt beers. I enjoy alt beers, but I haven't had too many alt beers. So, for a lack of saying something wrong, I'm just going to skip talking about alt beers right now. And I also forgot to get a glass, so 1 second. But, let's see. Let's use the Wakefield glass. Alright, so I'm going to kind of bring this up, so I would like to, kind of freshen up on alt beers as well. So, for lack of sounding like an idiot. Yes. So, of course, style of beer brewed in the historical region of Westphalia around the city of Dusseldorf, Germany. Of course, it is a top fermented lager. So, most lagers are bottom fermented. Ales are top fermented. This is the other way around. Anyway, check it out. I've never had this beer before. And went into D&Q down in the city. Looked at the singles wall. I like blackberries. I like German lagers. So I picked it up. Pours out a kind of a burgundy, dark amber, very dark amber. Sort of reddish, sort of burgundy type hue to it. Slightly off-white head. A little bit more than slightly, actually. It's getting towards that coffee creamer-like color, but not quite there. So it kind of looks like most other alt beers that I've had. So check out the aroma. Definitely getting those caramel malts, that kind of toasty, bready aspect, that toffee character. I'm getting some blackberries, but it's interesting. It's not super intense blackberry. It's not very jammy. I don't know how, many blackberries they use or how much. But it kind of has a sort of this like red wine character to it that it's lending. Not all the way. You wouldn't smell it and think it's, wine barrel age or anything like that. But there's just this hint of this kind of like that dark fruit, sort of earthy, robust fruit-like quality. So, a little sweet. Decently sweet. Check it out. Cheers. So, very much alt beer. Caramel, the toffee, toasted malts, that darker kind of bready malt. Using my words here. Kind of trying to focus on the blackberry there because I'm not really picking up blackberry. Or you could tell me this wasn't brewed with blackberries. I never would have guessed it had blackberries in it. I get more on the nose, but not really on the taste. I'd say maybe it needs to open up, but being a lager, it's better cold. Flavors are going to come out better as it's cold, so kind of interesting. maybe if it's top fermented, it kind of opens up better, like a ale. I don't know. Anyway. It has a hint of that kind of wine-like quality. It reminds me a bit of, it has notes, just the Bishop's Barrel 16 Asian red wine barrels, and it has a bit of that character to it, but not so intense. There is some bitterness on the back end. It's definitely not heavy or anything, but it's noticeable for sure. It lingers a bit. I think it might. I'm kind of thinking about this here is that it doesn't feel like a hot bitterness. It feels more like a kind of a malt, like a toasted burnt malt type bitterness to it. So I don't know, or kind of that seedy blackberry bitterness too as well. That's what it could be. Mouth feels nice though. Carbonation is pretty spot on. It's a bit softer. Got a nice full medium mouth feel. I'm gonna say full in the sense that it has a fullness to it, but it's a bit more on the medium side, I suppose. Pretty easy drinking, kind of was hoping for jammier blackberries. I'm thinking like kind of when I think about this beer, the blackberry alt beer, I'm thinking like maybe spreading blackberry jam on like a toasted brown bread or something like that. Sounds pretty tasty, but it's not quite there. A bit more blackberry would be pretty awesome, but you still get a bit of that. But it just doesn't really come off as much as blackberry to me. Just more of like this darker fruit, maybe a darker berry type of red wine, slight red wine type character to it. So it's pretty solid. I'm going to go ahead and go 3.5 out of 5 on this one. I think everything else about it is pretty well done. I'd actually probably prefer a bit less bitterness. I don't really like bitterness on my lagers. At least not a whole lot. Enough to just balance the sweetness. But it definitely has some like solid lingering bitterness to it. And that blackberry, just could brew it with blackberries. I really kind of want that jammy type character out of it. So, but anyway, still very solid beer from Martin House. So, if you like alt beers, like blackberries, might be something worth checking out. And that would be pretty much it for Turtle Power. So, as always, think global, drink local, and cheers.